kasi lawyer. Bakit ni lawyer?
Huwag na tayo mag-usapan kami.
Huwag mo hawakan ni lawyer.
Suot ang isang blue suit at tie, humarap ang 79-year-old na si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa unang pagkakataon sa pre-trial chamber ng International Criminal Court o ICC sa The Hague, Netherlands sa kasong Crimes Against Humanity, March 14, araw ng Biyernes.
Young Rodrigo Roa Duterte. That's my first middle name is Roa. His surname is Duterte. Today is March 28, 1945. I was born in the province of Leyte in the Philippines.
Pinayagan ng ICC pre-trial chamber na makadalo ito sa initial appearance sa pamamagitan ng isang video conference mula sa ICC Detention Center, bunsod ng pinanggalingang mahabang biyahe.
On 7 March 2025, pre-trial chamber 1 concluded that there were reasonable grounds to believe that Mr. Duterte is criminally responsible pursuant to Article 25(3)(a) of the Rome Statute as an alleged indirect co-perpetrator for the crime against humanity of murder pursuant to Article 7(1)(a) of the statute as follows. A. Murder of at least 19 persons, allegedly drug pushers or thieves, killed by members of the Davao Death Squad in various locations in or around Davao City, Philippines between 2011 and 2016. B. Murder of at least 24 persons, allegedly criminals, such as drug pushers or thieves or drug users, killed by or under the supervision of members of the Philippines law enforcement, sometimes with the assistance of persons who were not part of the police, at various locations in the Philippines between 2016 and 2019.
Inihayag ng International Criminal Court sa pre-trial hearing ang mga karapatan ni dating Pangulo Rodrigo Duterte habang naharap sa kasong Crimes Against Humanity kaugnay kanyang war on drugs. Kabilang dito ang karapatan na mag-apply para sa interim release o ang pansamantalang paglaya habang wala pang desisyon kung lilitisin ang kanyang kaso.
I visited former President Duterte. He is in the hospital wing of the detention center, and he is in good spirits. He is well taken care of. Defense team, yes, we already have a lead counsel. The President already appointed Nicholas Kaufman as his lawyer.
Hindi alintana ng mga taga-suporta ng pamilya Duterte ang init ng panahon at sila'y sumama sa prayer rally na isinagawa sa lungsod ng Maynila.
Patuloy ang pagdating ng mga taga-suporta ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa Freedom Park, Davao City upang makibahagi sa isinasagawang Solidarity Rally at ipakita ang kanilang suporta sa dating Pangulo. At ayon sa Davao City Police, nasa 100,000 individuals ang inaasahang dadalo sa pagkikipot.
Hiling ng mga kaanak ng mga biktima ng umano'y extrajudicial killings na mabigyan sila ng pagkakataong magsalita sa International Criminal Court upang maipahayag ang kanilang mga saloobin.
Isang veteranong abogado sa International Criminal Court ang nadagdag bilang tagapagtanggol ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa mga kasong kinakaharap nito sa ICC. Batay sa updated na dokumento ng ICC, Magsisilbing Associate Counsel ni Duterte si Attorney Dov Jacobs na isang eksperto sa international criminal law.
Therefore, in my view, the warrant of arrest is illegal. However, I believe that the surrender is not, because the surrender must be pursuant to a treaty, and therefore our own law, Section 17 of Republic Act 9851, brought back the Statute of Rome, even after withdrawal, because it requires that a surrender must be pursuant to the applicable treaty. We have to follow Article 59 of the Statute of Rome, which requires that the custodial state, namely the Philippines, must first bring the arrested person to a local court to determine two things: whether or not the person is really the one named in the warrant. Second, whether or not the person has been informed of the charges against him or her. This was not done.
I will admit it that I gave the clearances to number one, serve the warrant of arrest as I saw it, as I deemed fit, and number two, to fly him to The Hague to be surrendered under Section 17 of Republic Act 9851.
Sinabi nyo, ako nang bahala, basta bigyan ako ng eroplano. Nabasa po namin sa media, fake news po ba yun o hindi?
Arrest him and bring him to The Hague. Yun na. Simple as that. Arrest him and bring him to The Hague. Sagot ko lang, sir, bigyan mo ko eroplano. O di ayos.
And then the rest, you planned everything.
Matagal na yan eh. Ang plano na yan, matagal na yan. Hindi yan spur of the moment eh. Matagal na yan. And nagkataon lang na talagang yun, the opportunity arose.
So Secretary Remulla, nagpa-interview na si General Torre. We're not bullying him. He voluntarily gave this interview. And like many of our countrymen, napanood namin. Sinabi niya na siya talaga. Paano ba yun? Sino nag-utos sa kanya?
Ano nga yan, ma'am? Sabi ko nga, clear namin lahat yan. Kasi they were asking me the legalities. Even if I was abroad, my advice was being sought. And I gave them the advice. That,
so kayo
number
ang
one, serve the warrant of arrest. And number two, surrender him to The Hague. That's what the law provides.
So, sir, you're the one giving the orders?
Well, in some ways, because I gave them the legal basis for all the actions that happened.
So you're the one giving the orders?
If I have to be the one, then if I am the one that is referred to, I will admit it. That I gave the clearances to number one, serve the warrant of arrest as I saw it, as I deemed fit, and number two, to fly him to The Hague to be surrendered under Section 17 of Republic Act 9851. And then that is, I caused this through my brother,
yes,
who is the Secretary of the Interior and Local Government.
Sir, giving orders is different from giving clearance. Laruin natin ito. Well, ang tatanong ko is, sinong nag-utos? Because PNP is a uniform organization. Hindi yan gagalaw kung wala mag-uutos. Ang tatanong namin ng committee, sino nag-uutos? Ikaw sabi mo, you're the one giving the clearance. Ngayon, ina-admit mo na parang sinasabi mo na kung gano'n na lang, ako na nagbibigay ng orders. So, nalalabuan ako doon. Kasi sabi mo, nagki-clearance, nagbibigay ka ng clearance sa kanila. Sa
it's a crisis management time. Kailangan maklear lahat. Dapat malinaw mag-isip yung mga taong kasama sa usapan.
Nasabihan mo na ahead of time. Naklear na lahat yan.
Tinatanong nila sa akin kung ano nga. Ang sinabi ko talaga dyan, number one, you can serve the warrant. And number two, Hague. Surrender him to The Hague under the law.
Kaya kung ano man ang lumabas sa hearing na ito, si dating Pangulong Duterte ay ngayon nasa The Hague na po, Netherlands na po. Ano bang pwede pang magawa? I respect the initiative of this committee to hold the Senate inquiry. Bagamat nirespeto natin ang pagdinig na ito, sinasabi ko rin po ang aking mga hinanakit na parang too late na po. Walang problema sa akin mag-hearing kahit araw-araw po. Pero ang tanong, may babalik niyo pa ba si Tatay Digong? Yan ang tinatawag ko na too late, the hero na po.
Kung sino po ang nag-utos, wala po tayong personal knowledge dyan. Kung ano po ang napag-usapan, wala pa rin po tayong personal knowledge dyan. Kung naganap na po, ang dapat na naganap, yan po ay naaayon naman po sa batas.
It's a done deal. It's there. Ando na siya. Tsaka sabi niya naman, haharapin niya yung charges. So I think that he has repeated that to all of us. Lahat tayong Pilipino, narinig natin na sinabi sa atin ni dating Pangulong Duterte na haharapin niya ang kahit na anong paratang sa kanya, kahit sa ICC.
Alam naman natin lahat at alam nila na mali ang ginawa nila. Ginawa nila yon just to demolish political opponents. This is all about politics. The administration is using government resources, the ICC, to demolish the opposition. Wala na tayong argument. Mali ang ginawa. Ang tanong ngayon, ano ang gagawin natin para maibalik ang dating Pangulo sa Pilipinas? Kasi nag-iisa ako ngayon dito na gumagawa ng paraan para maibalik ang ating dating Pangulo sa ating bayan.
Mr. Duterte was arrested in compliance with our commitments to Interpol. Hours before his arrival, Interpol Manila received an official copy of the ICC warrant. This prompted the Prosecutor General of the Department of Justice to serve the warrant. Interpol asked for help, and we obliged because we have commitments to the Interpol, which we have to fulfill. If we don't do that, they will no longer help us with other cases involving Filipino fugitives abroad. This is what the international community expects of us as the leader of a democratic country that is part of the community of nations. We followed every single necessary procedure. We had a very good basis on which to serve that warrant and to read him his right. We followed all the legal procedures that are necessary. So I'm confident that if in further examination, you will find that it is proper and correct. And that is what's happened here. Politics doesn't enter into it.
After assessing all factors, including the need for the parties and participants to adequately prepare, as well as Mr. Duterte's rights, including his right to be tried within a reasonable time, the date for the commencement of the confirmation of charges hearing is September the 23rd, 2025.